Hello guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we're gonna talk about BTC and Ethereum. Maybe we're gonna, I'm gonna add Litecoin and Ripple XRP, right? If I have some time. But we're gonna talk about BTC on a lower degree because the bulls basically they trying to create a sort of a bullish divergence on the lower degree. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. We talk about the short opportunity from 98 to 10k price dip all the way down to basically 92, and the structure is changing a little bit to the bullish side. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick update, right? So basically, before we get started, make sure to hit the likes, make sure to basically subscribe and join our public Telegram group, link in the description. If you want to, upgrade to my premium group, make sure to send me a message once you join basically our public Telegram group. So last time what we talked about, right? So let's do this. So let's just basically go back to the higher time frame, the 6 hour time frame, right? So 6 hour time frame, we said we're most likely going to be breaking the 21 EMA on a 6 hour time frame. That time this was like almost 98, just by this area, because I was showing you the 15 minutes and I was like, why the 15 minutes is bullish? So you can see like the 15 minutes I think was like 2 days ago on the 19th, right? The 15 minutes was bullish, so the 15 minutes managed to basically push all the way up to 99, right? So if you manage to get a almost a short, just about like a 99 to a 99.50, you can see like you could take it all the way down to 92. That's 700 points, right? So we called it like a couple of days ago. So let's take a look at it now. We broke the 6 hour 21 EMA, pretty bearish, so we can still drop all the way down to basically 9k level, but it is kind of very aggressive to be waiting for 9k level to 89 level right now, when the bulls basically they're creating a small bullish divergence on the lower degree. So but that divergence doesn't mean like we're going to go to the moon, but it could be a short squeeze. That's what I'm saying. Like, just be cautious, at least for the short term. Within the next few hours, we could get a short squeeze if the bulls decide to create that bullish divergence on the lower degree. Okay, so let's dive in on the lower degree. So the lower degree, what we got right there, we got a bullish divergence, right? We got this one, right? And then we got this one. I'm going to also show you the hidden bullish divergence and why I don't like to play hidden bullish divergence, because hidden bullish divergence sometimes they just basically come too quick and too early. That's why I don't like them sometimes, right? So you can see like we got this bullish divergence. It doesn't mean we're gonna moon, but at least for the short term it can create a flat correction and basically give us a short squeeze all the way up, probably like to 96 to 98 level before the continuation pattern. It could be a big wick, right? I just don't know, but we just have to take what we got. We got a momentum, this volume momentum change, big drop, sideways correction, dump, lower prices. Our side stays very strong, supporting the price, so we can definitely anticipate this move. It doesn't mean we're going to go to the moon once again. Okay, that's just the the short-term analysis within the next few hours and so on, right? So if you bullish, you got a small chance to look for this move. If you bearish, it means like you have to basically protect yourself, either take profit or put a stop loss, right? I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just showing you what could happen within the next few hours, at least for the short term. But let's take a look at the 12-hour time frame. So 12-hour time frame, we said we're still bearish. As you can see, the 12-hour time frame I showed you on the MACD, right? MACD, I showed you like we basically needed to get the crossover. That's absolutely done deal, right? So that's bearish. Our side, I showed you basically this move is basically what? Getting a lot of pressure, downside pressure. So what we said we're going to need at least to get this sort of divergence, like not divergence but double bottom, and break this trend line before we can even like look for a further move. So even though the lower degree is bullish, slightly bullish, it doesn't mean it's the higher degree 12-hour and 6-hour. They're not showing like a 2,000 point push, 1,000 point push. You can get like a 400 points, maximum 600 points probably before another reversal, right? Another thing we also have to keep in mind, guys, I said it multiple times, right? You can see we got this flat correction, right? Usually we can end up making a W. That's what I'm saying. Like the lower degree time frame, okay, the lower 45 minutes bullish divergence can create a lot of change in momentum within the next few hours. We can still get this W and get this triple top, quadruple top, whatever you want to call it, 1 2 3 4, and before making this move to the downside. So let's just keep that in mind. The bulls basically they are looking they starting to look very very aggressive on a lower degree, but the bears, they basically dominating 6 hour and basically 6 hour to 12 hour. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. So let's take a look at the 2-day chart. Right, 2-day chart is pretty much engulfing, but I don't like the volume on the 2-day chart. One of the reasons I don't like the volume on the 2-day chart is like one of the reasons why I don't like the 2-day chart is like the volume is very low. If you take a look at it on, let's take a look at it on Binance. So the volume is low. I don't like it. Okay, when your 2-day chart is giving you a bearish engulfing candle with a volume lower than your previous volume, that's not good at all. Okay, so I've been back testing it. You can see like this one in this area was like a first week of April, we got an engulfing candle. Okay, almost lost like the last 5 days gains, and basically price did not, basically it did okay further, but you can see like we did have a continuation pattern. So one thing we just have to keep in mind, all right, so we're gonna need a bigger volume, at least for the short term, within the next few hours, to basically create a stronger bearish setup. All right, even though market overall I'm still bearish, the bears basically have to give us a better confirmation, all right, at least for the short term. So bears, be careful. Okay, one thing you have to do, if you've been shorting since 10K, you just have to have a stop loss. If you're bullish, it is time to start accumulating. All right, I'm not saying we're gonna go to the moon, but you got a slight chance based on this 2-day chart. The volume is not basically incredible. Okay, it is not incredible at all. So bears gotta do a good job. So now let's take a look at Ethereum, at least for the short term. Right, Ethereum. So Ethereum is doing the same thing. Volume is not incredibly high on the 2-day chart. Even though we got this small tweezer, we can still dip and then basically get bought up again. So but Ethereum is okay, at least for the short term. But even though I'm looking for a further move to the downside, this 2-day chart is not giving us a strong evidence like we're going to be dropping. So we're just going to have to wait for the 2-day chart to close within the next 13 hours. Right, we're going to close this candle within the next 13 hours, and then we're going to decide what we're going to do, at least for the short term. But in terms of bearish setup, you can see like we got the same setup from like a 280 to 90. We dip down to the 211 EMA on the 2-day chart, push back up. Right, same thing, dip down to the 211 EMA, push back up. So what are we looking for? We're just looking for Ethereum to break this 211 EMA on the 2-day chart. It could create a basically a stronger momentum to the downside. On top of that, you can see like on Ethereum, the basically this move we got right there on the April 30th, right, this candle pretty much similar. We got a shooting star right there, but we got a very undecided candle, so we could be looking for a similar move and a further move to the downside. So Ethereum got a better bearish setup than BTC. Even though I'm bearish on BTC, Ethereum is giving us a better bearish setup. So let's take a look at Ethereum on the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, we getting a higher volume. Price is moving below the 211 EMA. That's incredibly bearish. So now we're looking forward to retest the 100 EMA. BTC already retested 100 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, but Ethereum is lagging behind. So that's not good at all. It means that Ethereum has to catch up with BTC, right? So volume increasing, price is decreasing. So we could anticipate some support just about this area of just about like 200 to basically a 201 level. Okay, within the next few hours, if you're basically looking for support for Ethereum. All right, so let's take a look at EOS USD. EOS, one of the most bearish coin, at least for the short term. I've said it multiple times. Whenever BTC is dropping, keep an eye on EOS and XRP. All right, EOS and XRP basically they give us they most of the time give us a very bearish setups. And you can see like even though BTC was moving very strongly, you can see like EOS was basically struggling, and we could not break the basically 2-day 100 EMA. Was a support right there. You can see like after we pumped just about like first week of January, drop back down, retest it, pump to just about $5. retest it again, pump back up, and capitulate it. So you can see the same moving average, guys, is basically keeping us very keeping us down and avoiding us to basically push to the upside. So EOS is actually very bearish, one of the most bearish setups. So I'm just going to give you a short-term medium-term target for EOS. We could be looking for, we already retested 382. all right, that's actually very good in terms of like a bearishness for BTC. You can see like we could be looking for a 50% pullback. It is going to be just about like a low $2 range. Okay, so let's take a look at Litecoin next. So Litecoin doing the same thing as EOS. We capitulated down, not capitulated, but we dropped down below the 200 EMA and tried to struggle. Now we're struggling to basically pump on the 2-day 200 EMA. So let's see if Litecoin gonna get a support just by this level. Okay, so that's a support level we're gonna be looking for Litecoin, just about like a 38 to 37 level if we dip down. All right, so let's take a look at Litecoin on the lower degree. Litecoin not looking great at all. Okay, not looking great. So even though we got this big flat correction right there, 1 2 3, so we can see like if Litecoin can make this move back down and retest like just about this area on the lower degree, just about 39. If like we dip down lower, we can get this divergence on the lower degree. Let me just show you cleanly. We can look for this divergence probably for Litecoin, and price can dip down and get this move to the downside. Okay, so that's a probable setup for Litecoin, at least for the short term. On the 12 hour, let's take a look at 12 hours, see if we can get any evidences. On the 12-hour time frame, you can see like we got a very tight moving averages, 100 EMA and basically 211 EMA. It is showing us like we're about to get an increase in volatility. Whenever you're basically 2 EMA, especially 211 and 100 EMA, in any given time frame, they basically very tight, not crossing over, but look like they're about to get a big separation. It is showing you like volatility going to be increasing. So Litecoin, let's just say 39 to basically 37 level could basically support the price temporarily, at least for the short term. So bears could be also looking for this head and shoulder pattern formation, 1-to-1 extension, but that's a long-term target, not long-term, but medium-term target. Could take us all the way down to 28, but it is too early to talk about this one. So let's take a look at King XRP, struggling very bad, guys. So King XRP broke $20 range. So like I said, EOS and XRP, they basically love to give you guys a better bearish setup. So the setup I would be looking for Ripple XRP, it is just going to be this setup. All right, so let's see if Ripple can XRP can retest like the 17-18 cents range, right? If it does, you just have to be very cautious, because like most of the time these setups, right, even though they bearish setup, head and shoulder pattern formation, they tend sometimes to go back to retest the top. I just don't like them sometimes, right? So but if we break it, we can just look for a retest of the 11 to 12 cents. That's a medium term target, not today's target. But one thing we just gonna be anticipating for Ripple XRP is like to retest like 17 to 18 cents, right? Let's take a look at basically a 2-day chart for Ripple XRP. Similarly to basically EOS and basically Litecoin, you can see like 100 EMA, very important moving average, both on basically EOS and basically Ripple XRP. You can see like a strong resistance, right? So what you need to be looking for, at least for the short term, similarly to Litecoin, you would be looking for this level to basically support the price. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. 17 to 18 cents could be definitely a very strong support for XRP. All right, so guys, that's all I wanted to cover today. So if you enjoy the content, make sure to basically hit the likes, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and join our public Telegram group. We got some great traders out there. So and then basically if you want to upgrade to our premium members for daily analysis, price target, price setup, macro picture, and then and a lot of good stuff, make sure to send me a message to join our premium premium Discord channel, not Telegram group. All right guys, thanks a lot for watching.